Let's turn to my very dear friend, Chair of the House Judiciary Committee, the great Jim Jordan from the state of Ohio, the America Heartland. Jim, I thank you for coming on. As always, sir, we love having you. You know that. I mean, I know there were lots of details and tax cuts, and those are things that I love. But I'm trying to capture the zeitgeist. I'm trying to capture the big picture. What this guy said. I mean, you know what? This is like almost more Reagan than Reagan, what he did last night. His vision is so fabulous and so boundless and so endless that, I mean, I just think it hit the nail on the head.
No, it was leadership on display, leadership for the greatest country ever. I love it. Near the end of his speech, he talked about doers, dreamers, fighters, and founders. That is the American people. That's the American spirit. Your riff was great. That's the American spirit that has always risen to the occasion, accomplished good things. And then he got into some of the specifics. One of the ways you do that is let families and entrepreneurs and small business owners keep more of their money. You cut their taxes, and that helps the economy grow. You do common sense energy policy, common sense regulatory policy, common sense, secure the border, all those just basic things. And when you couple the intensity and the pace we have seen in 6 weeks of this administration with that vision that you talked about that President Trump laid out for all those Americans who do things, dream things, fight for things, found things, it was a special moment. And again, what a contrast between, I mean, you hate to do this in some ways, but he was so good, and you compare it to Joe Biden, who was so bad at these things. Special night for the president, special night for the country.
You know, Jim, it's so interesting. You and I have been around a long while. Okay. It's like with Trump and America, he's saying no is not part of my vocabulary. It's always yes. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. Yes, we will. Yes, we will do it even better. Yes, we know no boundaries. And I just want to harp on this for 1 second. I know you secretly want to be the chairman of the Council of Economic Advisors, and we're going to get to supply side economics in just that. And you'd make a darn good one, by the way, in a moment.
You would, not me. You would.
No, I don't know about that. But I'm just saying, this was I call it the Trump zeitgeist, this Trump culture, the spiritual wave that he has engendered, you know. And I think, I know it was a long speech, but I got a lot of friends of mine and family members who said, you know what, they had no problem watching the entire speech. They enjoyed the upbeat, positive nature of it so much. You don't get that anymore. Nobody's upbeat. Nobody's positive anymore. They're all cranky, insulting, obnoxious zombies. Here's Trump with breaking new ground.
Exactly right. It wasn't a long speech. It was a great speech.
Yeah.
And we could have watched it. We could have listened a lot longer. But the thing I like, and maybe I think we're describing the same thing in slightly different ways. The thing I love about President Trump is he hates to lose. He thinks like an athlete. Winning is all he's focused on, and not just winning for himself, of course, but winning for the country, winning for those doers, dreamers, fighters, founders, winning for the American people. And the country understands that. We, the people, understand that. That's why we appreciate his intensity, his fight, and maybe most importantly, his willingness to do what he told us he was going to do. Everything he's done these first 6 weeks, he told us during the campaign he was going to do. God bless him for doing it.
No, I love that. That's a right characterization, winning for the country. He always talks about winning. You can never win enough. You're exactly right. It's a whole different attitude. Jim Jordan, I enjoyed it a lot. He laid down the law. He laid down a marker. Tax cuts across the board. Every single one he's proposed. Even the business investment tax cuts would be retroactive to January 1st. He wants them done permanently and right away, Jim Jordan. Can we get that done?
Yeah, we have to get that done because he wants that all to happen because he wants this economy to really get earning and turning and churning, which is what we had back in his first term. So he wants that so the economy grows, and we all know that helps all Americans, helps every family, helps wage earners, helps workers, helps union workers, non-union workers, helps everybody. That's what he wants. We just got to deliver. You saw us come together last week, past the first step of this whole reconciliation process. We just got to keep it up.
Well, I told Speaker Johnson, who came on last evening, I called it a miracle. I mean, I really think it was a miracle what you all did. You're very much part of the leadership. It was really quite. Now the question is to drive it through. I think, Jim, with Mr. Trump on the warpath for tariffs, and reciprocity, and I support his mission. I support his mission. But I would add, I would like to see those tax cuts get in as fast as possible, because I think that cushions what he calls, the small disturbances. The tax cuts cushion small disturbances when we're trying to reform the world's trading system.
Very well said, and I agree 100%, as well as getting back to good energy policy and reducing the regulatory burden on the job creators. All that's going to help us grow and deal with this environment where we have tariffs. I think all that's going to help us, and the sooner the better we get that done.
And I almost hate to say this, but I just want to I hate to lose you anyway. There has to come a time when you and I and some others can find a couple of people on the other side of the aisle who would applaud a kid recovering from cancer, or getting into West Point, or hostages getting free. Do you know what I mean, Jim Jordan? There was a time, look, you and I grew up, there was a time when there were a lot of good-hearted Democrats who would have applauded those things. And yet none of them were in the chamber last night. And I find that just so awful.
Or how about Mrs. Compratore and her daughters, where her husband and their father gave his life in Butler, Pennsylvania to protect them, gave his life, and President Trump is everyone in that place should have been standing up applauding that family, as well as the young man who was made an honorary member of the Secret Service, as well as the young man who heard from the commander-in-chief that he's getting to go to the West Point, for goodness sake. I didn't get it either. I've been to 18 of these, and I always stand up when the president walks in, regardless of party. And there are always moments where you need to stand up and appreciate the guests who were there as guests of the president. So it was unfortunate, but look, we're just going to keep on moving and doing what we told the voters we were going to do. That's our job.
Well, you're exactly right. And the key point here is not the Democratic failures. They'll have to sort that out amongst themselves. The key point is Trump's phenomenal vision for America. It's really modernized city on the hill to the 15th power or something like that. We've heard it all.
Well said.
Yeah, Jim Jordan, you're wonderful. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.